Welcome back to more Films Under Constant Critique podcast, where this week we cover Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
Thankfully, we'll have to watch more of these for a while.
Yeah, especially after Prometheus and Covenant. I'm glad I'm done with this series for a while.
So, Alien vs. Sex Predator was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who did Event Horizon and the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, he did every single one of them. All
Jesus
6.
Christ. That's too many.
Yeah.
It came out in 2004, I think, so this was 7 years after the putrid mess we all know as Alien Resurrection.
Ugh.
And this was
movie is
definitely a step up from that.
Oh yeah. This movie's just kind of like a mindless action film, but it's so much better than most of the series. It's kind of sad.
It's probably my third favorite of the series.
Yeah.
Which is
I think I'd put Alien 3 above this.
Really?
Yeah, I'd put Alien 3 above this. This would be number 4.
I thought you didn't like Alien 3.
I didn't really like it, but I liked it a little better than this. They're pretty close to one another, in my opinion.
I don't agree. Alien 3 was fucking boring. This one it wasn't great, but most of it moved at a pretty good pace. And yeah. I think the acting is not great.
Not really. I didn't care about a single one of the characters except for maybe the Predator.
Maybe.
Yeah, even then it's a maybe.
But with this one, I mean, you get what you pay for. I mean, it's Alien versus Predator. You have aliens fighting predators, so you get that.
And then they occasionally kill some humans that are also in this temple in Antarctica.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't remember the names of any of the cast members aside from the fact you got Lance Henriksen back.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And he plays Weyland.
Charles Bishop Weyland, yeah.
That's weird. And there were points in the movie where his voice sounded a little like Optimus Prime, kind of. Which, if there's ever a time where they can't get Peter Cullen, just bring in Lance Henriksen and have him play Optimus Prime. So this one, they chose an interesting setting. They chose Antarctica.
Inside of a temple that's supposed to that looks like a bunch of other different cultures.
Another reason.
Pyramids.
That's another thing with this one is with the other ones, I got sick of just them being on a spaceship or whatever. Mm-hmm. With this one, they're on Earth for once. Might as well change it up a bit. And another thing with the opening, they switch locations quite a bit too. At one point, they're in
they do.
They're
keep
in Nepal,
moving around.
then they're in Mexico, then they're in Antarctica, and they found
they stay for the rest.
And they found a pyramid.
Yeah, a pyramid that just so happens to be filled with. Okay, I guess at the beginning it only has an alien queen, which then lays eggs, which then produces facehuggers, and then 8 people get turned into aliens or something.
And you get to see the Predator ship in this too, which is different.
Yep. And there are 3 predators that are coming in to fight the aliens. Yep.
They basically breed aliens so that they can have gladiator battles with them in this pyramid thing.
Yeah, to try to prove themselves to the rest of their
concept,
species.
Actually.
Yeah. There's a lot of ideas that I do kind of like in this one. It's just I wish there was a slightly more interesting cast.
That's true.
To make it all work a little better.
The ending is awesome, though. With the fights and stuff. Especially the fight with the alien queen.
Oh, yeah. I really like how they set up for Alien vs. Predator Requiem, even if that movie wasn't too good.
Yeah, this is one where the sequel actually follows the previous movie. When's the last time they did
it follows
that?
exactly too. It's like a day
When's
later.
the last time they did that in this series?
Not really ever. Because, like, in the series, it's like, alright, let's put our main character into hibernation for, like, 100 years, and then we'll continue later.
Yeah. There's also that great jump scare with the penguin. That fake-out jump scare, which... Gosh. My basic problem with this, though, you mentioned the cast, and for me, it took a bit to get going. You know, like...
Yeah, it was very slow.
The first, third of it, it's kind of, build up and stuff. But once they actually get into the temple and stuff, and there's...
It picks up once they get in there. Especially once the first alien shows up, then everyone's just dropping like flies. Then the Predators come in and make things a lot more interesting as well. Then it
basically turns into a Paul W.S. Anderson film.
No, after watching the Resident Evil movies, I saw a lot of the same DNA in this one.
Yeah. And also you gotta give credit, the characters in this are a lot smarter than the ones in Prometheus and Covenant.
Oh yeah. They're not absolute idiots like those guys are. They're all concerned with, getting out of this place where they're, being trapped to kill them. They're not like, let's study them instead.
Another thing worth pointing out, this is the only film of the series to be PG-13, if I remember right.
Yeah, in either one of the series.
Yeah. And even the unrated cut, it doesn't really add much gore either.
Not really.
Like some really bad CGI blood in like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And for me, the worst offender of that, is of it being PG-13 is, for one, the half-finished F-bombs.
Yeah.
And the chest bursting scene, which cuts away before you see anything.
A lot of the deaths in this movie are off-screen.
That is true, yeah. But then again, there were quite a few off-screen deaths in the first film.
True.
But you still got to see the chest burst and shit like that. And I don't know if you were having this problem, but the sound on this was just awful, I thought. It was so fucking quiet. Like, I could barely hear what they were saying.
It was way too quiet, in my opinion.
Which I don't usually complain about that, but with this one, it was just, wow.
Yeah, it was bad audio mixing.
Some great lines in this, too. Like, this is like finding Moses' DVD collection.
I forgot about that line. What does that get said?
I think it's when they're looking around at, like, the temple or something. I don't remember the context exactly. You want a piece of me, you ugly son of a bitch? How do you say scared shitless in Italian?
How?
Yeah. If they were going to have one character say motherfucker in it, for one thing, make it rated R. And for another thing, have Samuel L. Jackson say it.
Yeah.
How much more awesome of a movie would this have been if Samuel L. Jackson was in it, killing aliens and predators?
That would have actually been amazing. The movie would have changed at some point to just be Sam Jackson hunting down the aliens and Predator on his own and winning.
I have had it with these motherfucking aliens on this motherfucking ice block.
Yeah, other than really that, this movie's pretty unremarkable. Like the
I
fight
guess
scenes, especially towards the end, were
I guess
cool.
I
But
enjoyed
other
it.
than that, there's not a whole
I guess
lot
I
to
enjoy it
this.
more than you did, but it is just kind of a disposable like popcorn movie. You know, like I don't think there's
Yeah,
anything special about it. You know, like
it's just kind of something you put on the background while you do other
yeah, and then
things.
tune into like the final battle between the
Yeah,
alien, the predator, the fucking and like the main character, I guess, she like uses an alien head and tail as weapons. I mean, fucking A, that's pretty awesome.
That part was awesome. She used the head as a shield so that their acid
Yeah,
blood couldn't get her, and then she used the tail as like a
yeah.
spear and helped the predator fight off the
They like
aliens
tip
and
over.
succeeded in
They
doing
like tip
so.
over a water tower. There's like or ice tower, I guess. Yeah. Also,
Also,
sorry.
there's one thing that kind of confuses me about all of this. There was like a flashback scene that took place 100 years before the rest
Oh
of the
yeah, I
movie,
remember that scene.
and there was like a full like outpost already there. Like it looked like a small like town was
Yeah.
there in Antarctica.
You know, I kind of think of this movie kind of reminds me a bit of, at least in terms of the setting, John Carpenter's The Thing. A little bit.
Yeah, it kind of does with it being,
Yeah.
like a frozen wasteland.
That's a much better movie, though, by far. Also, the first fight scene between the alien and predator kind of sucked because there was a lot of shaky cam and slow motion. And is it just me, or does the predator have a lion roar?
He does. I noticed that at one point. He just roared like a lion, and I was like, I don't remember him doing that in the first movie.
So, yeah. And we mentioned Peter Cullen earlier. He actually did the voice of the Predator in the first Predator film. Yeah. Huh. He like based the sounds of it off of a horseshoe crab, if I remember right. Like the gargling noises that it makes. Also, Wayland, he's killed by a predator. He's played by Lance Henriksen, and do you know what that means? It means, like Bill Paxton, Lance Henriksen technically was killed by a Terminator, an alien, and a predator. Because he was killed in the first Terminator film. He played a cop. Yeah. He was technically kind of killed in that space crash at the beginning of Alien 3.
Yeah.
And he was killed by a predator in this film, so, yeah. He does not call the predator a motherfucker, though, which is kind of disappointing. Like Bill Paxton.
Yeah, they instead they called the alien.
I like that the predator has, like, more weapons and stuff that it uses. Kind of like in the second
that was
film,
pretty
like
cool.
A throwing star that he probably stole from the set of Crawl or something. You like see a predator's face a lot earlier in this one too. And see the predator's face looks kind of weird.
It does. Also, can we just mention that they just kind of leave the main character just in Antarctica? They don't like try to rescue her or take her anywhere or even take her back to their planet. They just leave her there. No way to get home. She's just kind of stranded.
I think part of why I enjoyed this, though, is after watching so many just 2-hour-long, boring films, this one is less than 2 hours long.
Yeah, it was a breath of fresh air.
And aside from, like, the beginning, it was paced pretty well.
Yeah.
It's just I wish the characters stood out a little more. But, you know, if you go in, like, if you watch this as, like, just kind of a, I don't know, popcorn B movie, I mean, you get what you came for, I guess. Yeah. You know, it's kind of cool seeing these motherfuckers fighting. Now, if only they had flamethrower in this.
Yeah. The flamethrower would have made everything so much more easier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they like ride a sled and like get away at one point.
Yeah. They just
Yeah,
shoot up the
yeah,
tunnel that was carved that led to the temple.
yeah. Honestly, I kind of wish the whole movie had just been them fucking fighting the alien queen. You know, that would have been amazing.
That would have been a really cool
Yeah.
movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
Sorry.
I was actually thinking about one way that the movie could have been better is if they just removed the human element altogether, and it was just about like,
Yeah,
a predator
that's
fighting
what
an
people
alien.
come for is just the alien and the predator
Exactly.
fighting. They don't care about the humans. It's the same reason, you know.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with those damn Transformers films. They don't come there for Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox. They want to see the damn Transformers fighting. The first Transformers
they want to see a
film,
bunch of robots meeting each other
the
up.
first Transformers film from the '80s, the animated one, knew this.
Exactly.
But the Michael Bay ones did not, and that's why those ones sucked. That and Michael Bay's a shitty director, but you know.
Yeah.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
I think I've said all that I have.
In terms of Paul
movie.
W.S. Anderson movies, I definitely like Event Horizon more than this one. But I'll take this any day over that first Resident Evil film. That was just terrible.
Yeah, the first one's kind of bad, but the rest of them are kind of entertaining at least. Especially with some of the fight scenes.
I think I saw the fight scene from one of the... Was it Afterlife? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Afterlife.
I think you showed it to me. That was fucking ridiculous.
They basically turned it into the
It
Matrix
looked like something out of the Matrix. It looked like something like out of the Matrix, but mixed with like that shitty Doom movie they made with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. Did you?
Oh yeah,
he
directed Mortal Kombat
this year.
He directed the Mortal Kombat film.
I forgot he directed that. That Mortal Kombat actually not too bad of a movie.
The first one, anyway. He had no involvement with Annihilation. Is that what the second one was called?
Yeah, the second one was Annihilation.
It was so bad. Too bad you will die. They couldn't even get the same cast members back.
No.
But yeah, I think we can move on to Requiem.
Yeah.
You watched Requiem, right?
Yeah. I did.
Aliens versus Sex Predator Requiem. And it was released Christmas Day, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't... I had always heard, like, just absolute horrible things about it, so I guess my expectations were incredibly low.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was as bad as everybody says it is.
It's bad, but it was surprisingly watchable for me. Maybe it's because
it was hard... For me, it was hard to watch because the screen was
it was the lighting.
Like half the time.
Lighting is garbage. Like, it is so bad.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. I could barely see what was happening.
It reminds me of the fucking... There's like a Frankenstein versus Dracula film where the final fight, like, it's in a forest and you can't see a goddamn thing that's going on.
And I really do like the concept of the Predalien.
Yeah. You know, you got a hybrid of these two things. What are you going to do with it? Not much. It was directed by, what's worth pointing out, it was directed by the brothers Strauss, who were, I think this is their only directorial effort. They were mostly known for special effects. I think I know they did music videos as well.
Huh.
Let's see. Oh, you can thank them for the special effects in Volcano, and some of the special effects in a different James Cameron movie, Titanic.
Yeah, really?
The iceberg sequence, more specifically.
I was looking at some of the other stuff that the Strauss brothers have directed.
Apparently they did a Red Hot Chili Peppers video.
Yeah, they also did the video for Crawling by Linkin Park.
Really?
Yeah.
They all.
They also did a Nickelback
Oh
song.
God, which one?
How You Remind Me.
That's one of their better songs, at least. But yeah,
Really?
in my opinion, they also did effects on 300. Oh God, X-Men: The Last Stand, Fantastic Four, Terminator 3, Day After Tomorrow. Yes. Yeah, there's at least 2 movies in there that I think are worse than Requiem. But anyway, so Requiem, it opens with the ending of the first film, just in case you forgot what it was, which, I don't know, it came out 3 years after the first film, so maybe people did forget. I mean, all the Rocky films, the sequels, usually start off with, like, a recap of the final fight from the previous film, so, who am I to complain? And that has an opening. You have a hunter and his son. They like see the ship crash in the woods, and a facehugger like escapes and attacks them.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that they went for a child kill.
I know.
At the very beginning of the movie.
And then you have a predator who goes to stop the alien before it spreads and shit. And it was interesting having it be in this setting where, they're attacking civilians, kind of like the ending of The Lost World Jurassic Park. Although I think that's a much better film. I mean, you have a T-Rex storming San Diego, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
The main characters suck.
Yeah, they were
You have
bad.
a pizza delivery boy, which reminds me, I'd rather be watching Spider-Man 2 than this.
Yeah.
Pizza time. His girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah. I think she was his ex.
Then
but
they're just
every time instead of saying breaking up, she said fire. By the way.
Yeah, ex-boyfriend. Actually, he's been fired.
Yeah, he's been fired.
They're a bunch of
so pretentious sounding
asshole teenagers, just not likable at all. It's like they were going for like a slasher film vibe or something.
Yeah, except they had too many characters they tried to introduce you to.
That's true, yeah.
Because there was the 3 teenagers who were jerks, the pizza delivery boy, his boss, the girlfriend, the sheriff, the diner lady, the 2 homeless people.
To be fair, the sheriff...
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
To be fair, the sheriff is probably the most interesting character in the film. I actually kind of liked him, but other than that, the rest were kind of assholes. Or just non-existent.
Yeah. By the way, the sheriff sounded like he was trying to do a southern accent, but like half the time he dropped it.
Yeah, kind
of. That was just weird.
But yeah, the biggest problems, like I said, the characters suck, and the camera work is fucking awful. It is so goddamn dark. You cannot see a goddamn thing.
I read about the camera work in this movie. The director said that they wanted it to feel more like a documentary with how they filmed it.
Sorry, you said they were trying to go for a documentary vibe with this?
Yeah, documentary style.
Feels more like a really shitty TV movie, if you ask me.
It does.
Teen Party Beach, and then an alien and a predator show up.
Yeah.
Sorry, what state are they supposed to be in again? Like Colorado or something?
Yeah, it's supposed to take place in Colorado.
How far away is that from Camp Crystal Lake? Or where's Michael Myers from in the Halloween?
Yeah, I think he's in Illinois somewhere.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
But man, it was such a relief though for them to just be in a different setting than fucking space. You know?
It was a nice change.
It would have been nice if the editing was better or the lighting.
Yeah. Also, I just went and counted the number of cast members that are like important to this story. If you don't count the Predator or the aliens, there are 26
Holy
humans.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and the dialogue.
And this is only an hour and a half
gotta
movie,
love
too.
the dialogue in this, too.
Oh, this dialogue is garbage.
Yeah. Ex-boyfriend, actually. He's been fired. Fuck you. I don't want to die hiding. Dies while hiding.
Yeah.
People are dying. We need guns. Turn back. It's a trap, says not Admiral Akbar. We're not dead yet. Well, no shit, Sherlock. The most...
There's not a lot that's good about
the best
this
line
movie.
in the movie. One of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard. I seriously wondered if it was a line from a fucking, like, satire or something. That's crazy. The government doesn't lie to people.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking at the poster. Do you know what the tagline to this movie is?
Was it like something like "Whoever wins, we lose," or was that the first film?
No, that was the first one.
Yeah.
This one says, "This Christmas there will be no peace on Earth."
Imagine playing.
Keep in mind, this movie has nothing to do with Christmas.
Imagine just like playing.
I'm pretty sure it takes place like the summer.
Yeah, just get like pull up a fight scene, play Peace on Earth or something, or hell, Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah.
That would be fucking hilarious. That started playing during a fight scene. It was this one definitely ramped up the gore compared to the first film.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's you see a skinned corpse hanging from a tree. You have chest bursters bursting out of pregnant women, which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah. There's a lot about this. I was like, I did not expect they'd try to get away with that.
That pool scene kind of reminded me of Gremlins a little bit. Which is definitely a better Christmas movie than this.
How funny
would it be?
Children and teenagers dying, I was getting a slight Stephen King vibe from parts of this.
Like It or something?
Yeah, kind of. Just, any one of his stories where a bunch of children die.
It'd be a better movie if Stephen King wrote it.
Yeah. That'd actually be interesting, a Stephen King alien film.
With gremlins. There has to be gremlins in it. You see a triple chest burster, which is a new concept.
Yeah. Well, it's not even out of the chest anymore. It's out of their stomach. They're called belly bursters. Yeah. And apparently they eat the fetuses inside of pregnant women before they hatch. Yeah, so that's why the Predalien was going after all the pregnant women in the hospital.
It's a really, just no holds barred,
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely feels more like a slasher film than an alien film.
It does go for that kind of vibe.
But, there's parts of it that I think are kind of I can sort of sit and watch it for, sort of like a popcorn movie vibe, But then there's just other parts where I'm just like, no, this just plain out sucks. So it kind of falls somewhere in between being kind of entertaining and completely sucking ass.
Yeah. A little bit of fun trivia about this movie. Bill Paxton was approached to play the part of the chef.
Oh man, that would have been
scene in the diner.
Interesting. I don't remember the chef being in much of the movie, though, was he?
No, not really. It was going to be more of an Easter egg, just so that he could be killed again in an Alien and Predator movie.
He should have, they should have named him, Chef Hudson or something, As, a little tribute. And have him say, have him even, I don't know, quote something from Aliens.
Game over,
I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events, man, but we just got our asses kicked, pal. I also imagine, the end fight scene between the alien predator, they're fighting in, the rain and shit. I was imagining the
Yeah.
song "Singing in the Rain" playing. And the final fight was actually, I thought was kind of awesome, actually. It was
It
probably
was a
the
pretty
best
awesome
fight. It was
final
the best
fight.
fight in the movie, definitely.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
they all got nuked.
Yeah, can't kill the aliens, nuke the whole town.
Yeah.
And at one point, don't they like say? It's been a while since I actually watched this. I just have my notes out, but they like say something like "Miss You, Tani" or something, or
Yeah, something weird like that. Also, that the bomb they dropped was about 10 times the power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Gosh. And speaking of nuclear bombs and stuff, you know how much better this would have been if some of the characters from Doctor Strangelove were in this?
I feel like that would have changed the entire tone.
There were parts of this where I thought maybe this is just a joke or something. Have a scene.
Yeah, it did almost feel like
it'd be so much better if the sheriff just climbed up on top of that nuke and just, while it dropped down, just rode on it, waving his cowboy hat, letting out a yell. And we never get to see the war room in this film. I'm disappointed.
So, as a whole, how would you rank the Alien franchise?
Okay.
All 8 movies.
Okay. Starting at the very bottom, 105, Alien Resurrection. And then somewhere between numbers 8 and 104. In between those would just be a bunch of Alien ripoffs and shit. Number 7 would be Covenant, which was pretty bad. I didn't like it. It was a really pitiful attempt to try and revive the series, and it just sank it even lower than before. Number 6, Prometheus. Boring, pretentious. Had some cool visuals, but, you know, I'm not going to be revisiting it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Number 5, Alien 3. A complete mess, but at least it's not the 3 films below it. Or, sorry, the, 103 films below it. Number 4, AVPR. It kind of sucked, but I got some entertainment out of parts of it, at least.
Yeah.
Number 3, AVP. You know, it had its fun moments, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't pissed off while watching it, so, you know, it gave me kind of a, you know. Yeah. Number 2, Alien. The original film, the classic, you know, great film. Has a great atmosphere to it. You know, great visuals. It's held up very well over the years, I think. You know, great cast.
Yeah.
Especially Sigourney Weaver, Ian Holm, and John Hurt. But number 1 for me is Aliens. That's my favorite of the series. It's the most, you know, it moves by the quickest. It has a very memorable set of characters, a lot of memorable lines, you know.
Yeah.
We're on express elevator to hell, going down.
So my list, number 8, I put down the train wreck that was Resurrection.
At the very bottom, that's
Yep.
It's also one of the worst films we've done on this show, too. The worst film we've done on this show.
I actually wasn't able to finish this when I tried to watch it. I got halfway through, and then I just watched, various clips of it on YouTube just to get the gist of it. I could not stand this film.
What I did was, I got about halfway into the film. I took a break, went to dinner. An hour or two later, I came back, tried watching the rest of it, before eventually I just started playing songs over it to make it a bit more bearable.
Then at number 7, I actually put Prometheus.
I'm not surprised. That one kind of sucked.
Yeah, no,
it's so boring.
I just felt so let down
so
by
boring.
Then number 6, I put
Yeah,
Covenant.
I'm not surprised.
Because there were a few fun fight scenes in that one, but other than that, there was nothing much salvageable.
I felt it was.
Number
I felt
5.
Covenant was more insulting than Prometheus, because Covenant for me just like it uprooted the entire series with its stupid plotline.
Yeah, I can see that definitely.
David and shit.
Then number 5, I did Alien vs Predator Requiem.
Number 5.
It's not good, but it's not horrible.
Alien vs Predator Requiem. You know what? It kind of moments of it remind me of just those old like, versus films with like monsters and shit. I think it would have been really entertaining if it had like. If it was like one of those mashups, like Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, that
would have been entertaining.
Abbott and Costello meet
number 4, I had
the Predator or something.
At number 4, I had the first Alien vs Predator.
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement. On
that one was
AVPR.
watchable. Then at number 3, I had Alien 3.
I'm surprised Alien 3 is so high on your list.
Yeah, I liked the settings, the sets and stuff.
It did have a better
throughout.
It had a better cast than any of the AVP movies, but it was far more boring and disappointing to me because I didn't expect much out of the AVP films. Alien 3 for me was the start of the downfall of the series.
Yeah. Then in second place, I had Aliens.
Yeah.
That one was really good.
It's real,
pretty fun action.
It's a great film. Yeah. It's one of my favorite.
It's
one of my favorite science fiction films.
Yeah.
Favorite.
And then number 1, I have the
first film, right?
Yep, I have Alien 1.
Alien 1.
I think that one's the best. Because whenever I want to go back and watch an Alien film, that's the first one I go and see.
For me, I find Aliens more entertaining, but But the first film is definitely a great film. The first 2 I think are 2 of the best science fiction films.
Yes.
As well as you got one that's also one of the best horror films, and another one that's one of the best action films.
Action films.
It's crazy how they switched it up so much with the second film, yet it still worked.
Yeah,
that should not have worked as well as it did, but it did.
Overall, this series to me kind of reminds me of the Terminator series.
Game over, man. Game over.
Where like the first 2 movies were spectacular, and then after that they just kept getting worse and worse, and now they're at the point where nobody cares about the series anymore.
Did you see the new Terminator film? I didn't.
I almost did, and then I decided that it was going to be a waste of $10.
Probably, yeah. If I do end up seeing it, which... Hell, we'll probably end up doing a podcast on it.
Yeah.
Where you'll get to see another case where the series started off so well, and then it all...
And then just plummeted.
It was just destroyed. Destroyed. Gosh. And yes, I still stand by my statement that Event Horizon is a better Alien film than Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
Even though
there's a lot of films that are better than Alien Resurrection.
There's maybe 2 films I can think of that are worse, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of a movie that maybe as miserable as Resurrection did.
All right, well, I guess that's the end of this episode.
Yep.
Join us next time for a different movie series. Finally.
What different movie series will that be? We don't know.
That will be decided
later.
Yeah.
When we'll even have time to film it. Because this took how long? 2 months? Just to get these ones?
Yeah, this took a few months. All right, well, I guess we will see you on the other side with our next episode.